how did you become a musician, and the story, you as an artist,
Me as an artist.
the story about your instrument, why this instrument, and how?
Why did I become a musician? Well, was born in Romania. Was born in Romania, and I'm coming from a family of musicians. My father is a cellist. He was pretty important cellist at a time in Romania, soloist. And my mom, she's a singer. She sang in the Philharmonic choir in Cluj, since, you know that Philharmonic very well. And not only that, even my grandfather and my grandmother from the father's side, both musicians, my grandfather from my mom's side, composer, and a priest and professor at the Theologic Institute. So a lot of, predestination.
And so you picked cello, or your parents picked cello for you?
No, I did not pick cello. No, I was a very rebellious kid. I just wanted to play outside and climb trees, and I wanted to do gymnastics because, gymnastics was the thing in Romania at the time. So, I broke my arm trying to do that. But they somehow announced me very soon to where we're supposed to go to school, that I'm going to go to a different school than the other kids that I was playing with. I'm going to go to a music school, which it was a drama for me because I wanted to go with the other kids at the neighborhood school.
This is middle school.
We're talking about
elementary
six,
school.
Because so my father being a cellist, they thought that I should try cello, and you should start then, but then if you don't want to continue, you can always give it up later on. But the other way around is harder, right? To realize later on that you want to start doing music kind of late, right?
And you did all your schools in Romania?
I did all my school in Romania. I started from the first grade, the music school, which probably in Hungary
it's the same system.
You have 12 grades of music school. With all the music theory, ear training, orchestra, chamber music, they start you, I think in 5th grade already. And then to the conservatory in Cluj. I entered there, and then I transferred to Bucharest for the last 2 years. So, this is how.
And then when did you come to the US? And is it in connection with you being a cellist?
It is. As I was finishing in Bucharest, I had experience playing with a rock band, actually, the Scorpions, if you remember it.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, they somehow, I ended up playing with them, an oboe player. He formed a chamber group in Bucharest, and I was part of that group, and he was living in Munich, Germany, and he knew all these managers from famous bands, and he found out that they needed cellists for their Unplugged album, so I sent a video, and for 2 years I recorded with them. Actually, first in Portugal we recorded that album, and then I traveled with them. I saw the world. That was really nice, because since then I haven't really had a chance to really travel like that. And then after that was over, I was thinking, either try to get into an orchestra in Europe
that was
somewhere.
When? Which year?
2000, This is around 2000. This is when we recorded, so 2001. I was always attracted by the idea of America, which, a lot of, us generations that lived in the communism, that, America. So I really wanted to give it a try. And I ended up in Columbus, Georgia, for some reason. I stayed there for a semester. They didn't have the master's in performance that I needed, so I went to UA, and that's where I did my master's and doctorate. So being at UA, I started to come to Huntsville as
So that leads us to our
That-
next question.
I'm
which
just
is-
like
which
giving
is-
all the answers
Thank you.
before you
Yes,
even-
yes, that's good. That's good. This interview is not about me. You just keep talking. So it's just about your Huntsville Symphony history, when you joined, and the other part of the question is whether you remember the very first show you played with HSO, or if not, if you don't remember,
I
that's
don't
also
remember
fine.
the very first one, but
Then tell me a memorable show that you were like, okay, that was a great concert we played.
I remember the Sacre de the Rite of Spring.
Rite of Spring.
Stravinsky. Yeah, I remember I played at the first stand, because before I was playing, I think second stand. So that's the first time I played the first stand, and I practiced so much. Yeah. So I remember that show. It was, and it was with Carlos.
And when was the year that you joined the symphony? Approximately.
2004.
Okay.
I think 2004. Overall.
And what else are you doing in music outside of the Huntsville Symphony? Do you play with other groups or you teach?
I teach a lot. Yeah, I ended up teaching a lot.
And that's private teaching?
Privately mostly, and at UAH, part-time. And I
How many students do you have?
Privately, I have 23, and at UAH 2 right now. But we're hoping it will grow. So I taught at UNA before, in Florence, but yeah, I don't like driving so much anymore, so I just kind of like to
I understand that.
teach more, play Huntsville Symphony, and I like this kind of slower pace living.
After traveling with the rock band.
Yes, it's some change in my
Yes,
personality
exactly.
has changed. Like I'm just more into just staying put and bought a house. I like gardening,
Cool.
stuff like this, you know.
And your husband is
My husband,
an artist also.
he's an artist. Yeah, he's.
Well, tell us
Maybe he
about
influenced
him
me
a
more.
little.
Like his personality is much more calm and just, like I said, staying put. And he's an artist,
he's
right?
a sculptor.
He's a sculptor. Romanian as well. And he came to US for me actually. So that's why he moved here. Yeah, not the easiest time, obviously, as an artist in these parts, but yeah, we bought a house and we have a nice garden, 2 acres land, and we'd like to.
With his sculptures in the garden. I
Yeah, we
assume.
have a lot
Yes,
of his
yeah,
sculptures in the house and in
He
the
makes-
garden.
He makes
and
beautiful
we
sculptures,
have,
I remember.
yes.
He had a studio at
we
Low
both
Mill,
have a
yeah.
studio at Low Mill. Yeah, we're sharing it right now. So I'm teaching there also. In a huge,
Oh, okay. So you're
half-half.
teaching at Low Mill. Well, it's, yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody complains about
'Cause
the
it's
cello
more-
sound.
No, they love it. Oh my god! I mean, yeah, they love the cello sound.
So, based on your personal experiences and life story and professional career, how do you see classical music now in the 21st century and maybe the future of it? You know, we tend to be pessimistic. Some people are optimistic. I think I am one of them. But in your own experience, what do you see? Where are we with this art form? Especially here, it's because it's different in Europe.
Yeah,
Somewhat, but even that has changed, I guess.
I think it needs to become less of a museum kind of an art and more make it more approachable to people. Like I don't know, in the time of Beethoven or Mozart, I think there were more like rock shows, right? The classical music concerts were, first of all, they were longer, right? They were playing, I don't know, several symphonies or concertos, whatever, in one night, right? I don't know, it just seems like people were really participating much more as they would right now, nowadays, like going to a rock or pop show, right? So somehow, I think we need to make it approachable, make it more, just get down off the pedestal a little bit more, you know. And you're doing it actually, you know, the casual classics that you're doing, the talk before the concerts is already.
What do you see with your students? Because you have 20 plus students in your private studio. Why are these kids going into classical music? or cello in particular?
Cello has become such a famous instrument, thanks to Hauser.
Oh, Hauser. It's always pop culture.
Hey, thanks to me too, because I played. Actually, started a long time ago. This trend. Cello is very hip these days. So yeah, happy for that. I was surprised when I first started teaching that not everybody wants to do a career, right, in music, which back where I'm from, if you start taking cello lessons, I mean, if you know, right?
But if it's private lessons, I mean, the person has to be interested in doing it, right?
They are interested in doing it, but not necessarily all of them want to become as a career.
Yeah, of course.
Which for me, it was a little bit of a shock at the beginning, because back home, you start taking lessons. That's the difference between Eastern European
education system and the American, is that here you can study an instrument all the way until you get a diploma and still not become a professional musician.
Exactly. So I had to get used to that idea, because of course I was raised, to put in a certain amount of hours of practice and, all the regimen that we went through. But it's okay that it's like this here. I mean, because who is really interested, and it really shows up much more honestly, and who really has that drive and that calling.
And most of your students do practice?
Yes, because I'm a tough teacher. I said sometimes recordings for a Facebook, I'm like, you're gonna get recorded, so they have to practice. I need to find ways to make them practice, because the old ways don't work, right? Or of course, recitals twice a year. We have to give recitals. Sometimes I have projects with them that we're going to do a video with them. They get excited about that.
Do you make them to play chamber music with one another?
Yeah, that's why I started like this cello quartet. So we're doing that. Actually, we want to do something for Christmas, and they really get excited about that. Yeah, because they don't have this as we had it in schools. Like it was a class, chamber music we had to take. Right, or orchestra, or here, yes, they do orchestra, but chamber music or other classes, not really. It's all private, If they take piano, or luckily, who takes piano. Otherwise, they don't really interact musically with their peers, and that's how you get motivated, seeing others, listening to music, going to concerts, right? But seeing your colleagues, that's important, and I don't really get to. So I'm trying to improvise a little bit.
So you're busy with your studio and with the Huntsville Symphony.
Yeah.
What do you do for fun when you're not practicing, you're not teaching, you're
and not crashing on the couch at night?
That's perfectly
Netflix,
fine.
like one episode after another, and the TV just turns off by itself. When none of that, like I said, I love gardening. We have this idea that we want to make this property that we bought into Arcadia or Eden or something. I really love that.
So did you learn that at home?
No, because we grew up in city in apartments, so we never had that land. So for us, it's very exotic to have land.
It's new. It's new to you.
Or animals or stuff like this. Chickens and dogs and cats and all of that. So I do that for fun, and in the winter, for example, I love skiing. I'm a skier, but I don't find really companions for that. My husband doesn't ski; he just usually waits for me with a beer at the bottom of the hill.
That's not such a bad part of skiing. Is being the one who doesn't ski, but sits there with a beer or some warm drink.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe I should organize something with my students. I need to get them, maybe take them one winter, just all go skiing, and in the evening do chamber.
So where would you go skiing?
North Carolina. That's
okay.
The closest we could go.
Well, I used to live in Portland, Oregon, and everything was an hour and a half away. It was the ocean, and the other direction it was skiing all year round. With those high mountains.
Yeah.
So,
so that would be
skiing
ideal.
is a sport that you need.
I love skiing. I wish. Anyway, I wish. But I'm trying to think what other hobbies really. Not
so
really that I have time.
How much time would you spend?
Because I don't have time.
How much time would you spend in the garden when you're gardening? Like you have a day off and
if
you would
I
spend all day?
Then I would,
really?
just take breaks and I would, mean, it's always something to do, you know.
Well,
around the
that's true.
house.
A garden is
I
a
love starting
24/7 job.
seeds. I like to see them grow and all that. And I go through phases. Oh yeah, well, I used to be. I mean, I'm a singer too, but that was a hobby. For I don't know. I've studied seriously, but lately I'm just, I guess, getting old, and I'm just not so eager to practice at night as, you know. In the morning I have to practice cello. Then during the day I teach.
Yeah.
And I used to practice singing at night. Now I'm just.
And then you
I
gotta
come,
go gardening.
Yeah, right. You know, I get home and I just crash.
Enough of music.
Yeah. But I miss that because. Yeah, I just cannot do everything, but I loved it. And, you know, the way I got into singing, it's not that I was a big fan of opera from beginning.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like that for me. It was I wanted to sing in a band, rock or pop. So I started to take singing lessons while I was at UA, just for fun. And I started to fall in love with the feeling of singing, the real feeling of singing, like the classical feeling.
Yeah.
So that's how I started to really love opera and the operatic singing, because it's just such a organic feel and free. And so
And of course, the goal for all of us is to sing with our instruments.
Right.
So that's
Right. So, you know,
connected.
I'm sure it helped me in many ways musically, and with cello too. So, yeah, that was a hobby. It still is. I mean, I still sing sometimes.
For fun.
For fun, but I don't. Yeah, it came back to reality. Anyway.
Thank you for the interview.
Oh, thank you.